Hello, everyone. Welcome to Gaming. I'm Nick, out of the comments, of course, Justin. Here's a fun one for you, hot off the presses. This is in relation to Nintendo. So we all know about the Power World v Nintendo stuff, right? We know
Yes.
how those two don't like each other. More specifically, Nintendo doesn't like anyone who even goes near their quote-unquote stuff. In this case, the monster capturing business, which they accuse Power World of stealing. Eh. Well, we also remember how Nintendo a while back tried to kind of patent the whole monster capture Pokeball thing. Yeah, well, that kind of been bouncing around the courts, and the U.S. Patent Office has rejected Nintendo's controversial summoning characters and let it fight patent, which is really an interesting name. Anyways, so basically, they've rejected the concept of the patent, and it was heavily criticized by lawyers last year. And this article actually comes from IGN, though quite a few have covered it at this point. Basically, they say that in November, the director of the United States Patent and Trademark Office, the USPTO, not a mouthful at all, ordered a re-examination of the patent after IP lawyers had criticized the US patent system and the USPTO for awarding it. So basically, they awarded it. They're like, something's weird. Look it over again. They looked it over again. And now they're like, you know what? Yeah, it's weird. Let's just not have them
I
actually
don't
take
know
that.
about this one, Chief. I don't know about this one, Chief.
Yeah, basically, an IP expert, Florian Muller, I believe I'm saying the name right. Sorry, I'm not. Basically, said it in their own words. Nintendo quote should never have received a quote summoning characters and let it fight patent in the first place. And another individual in the field, a lawyer, Kirk Sigmund, also told PC Gamer, and again this article, maybe I'll have the PC one linked down below, that, quote, these claims were in no way allowable. Basically, there's no way Nintendo should have had this patent, but somehow they did because it's Nintendo. And now it's going out the window. So basically, long story short, they kind of took the patent back and are now it's not a final decision. The battle is still going back and forth in the courts, but basically they're saying, okay, you're taking away the patent, just go fight it out in some other court at this point. The US Patent Office is kind of getting a little tired of this, I imagine. Again, I won't summarize the entire Japanese suit against them because it's long involved, and Nintendo, as we've kind of talked about previously in the show, has kind of been going back and trying to revise their own patents to make them able to apply in this case more, which in memory serves as kind of a weird quirk of the Japanese legal system where you can kind of retroactively make patents for things that you're dealing with. So basically, let's say I do X thing and another company has already been doing X thing. Well, technically now, if they sue me, they can now go back in the patent office at that moment, apply for a patent to the thing that now we're both doing, and use it as precedent to sue me for doing the thing, even if we were both doing it long before this patent existed. It's a weird quirk of the Japanese patent office. But regardless, so yeah, this is kind of bouncing around back in the courts. Power World's been doing this for a while now. Honestly, I'm still
They've been dealing
surprised
with it
that
for quite a while.
I'm not surprised that they're continuing to do this, especially considering that it's kind of making Nintendo look like idiots at this point. Like, I don't know what they stand to win at this point if they stand to make a precedent if they win, but I don't know. At this point it just seems like Nintendo's just drumming up a lot of bad PR in this whole nonsensical argument. Considering they've accused Power World of ripping off Pokemon designs, which I mean, there's similarities, but I don't know. Technically they might fall within the ballpark of satire and parody maybe. So,
And the question
I mean,
still lies: at what point are like animal-based creatures not allowed?
true. And again, this whole case revolves around three main patents, right? Again, granted in Japan. Two related to monster capture and release, and one related to riding characters, all of which Power World also does, and of course Pokemon does. They were all filed in 2024, like I said, after Power World came out. However, they were derived from earlier Nintendo patents dating back to 2021. In other words, it seems, again in the words of this article, that once Power World exploded onto the scene, Nintendo filed divisional patents that were geared to fight specifically against Power World's alleged infringement of original patents. Again, like I said before, Japan is a weird quirk where you can effectively retroactively patent something. All in the name of effectively suing a guy somewhere else who just started doing it. So,
Yes.
yeah, weird quirk of the Japanese political or legal system, which Nintendo has not abused at all, especially not in this case. No, 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 no.
Nope.
So, yeah. Power World has indeed made changes to kind of go against the patents or kind of work around them. The article specifically mentions one case where they actually removed a more Pokeball style like throwing spheres that Power World had to capture the creatures. I believe they retooled that to something else, so they kind of walked around the whole Pokeball pat in May of last year. But again, the case kind of has been going on with Nintendo rewriting in their, in the words of the article, rewriting a mount-related patent mid-lawsuit. So Nintendo is now rewriting other patents mid-lawsuit to use in the lawsuit, which is kind of like creating your own evidence, but whatever. So yeah, that's kind of where we are in the case against Power World. The whole business of the U.S. Patent Office giving the whole summoning characters and letting it fight patent is now being rescinded, I guess. And the case itself rumbles on. Will Power World win? I mean, the sphere of public opinion does seem to drift more to Power World than Nintendo in this one. As I keep bringing up in this video, it doesn't exactly help Nintendo's case that they're literally having to manufacture patents on the spot to justify their own lawsuit, which doesn't exactly scream ethical rightness or legal rightness. Huh? So we'll see. What do you think, Justin?
Legal mumbo jumbo.
Yeah, a bunch of legalese.
A lot of
One thing we can
legalese.
be one thing we can be certain about in this whole case is that the lawyers are getting filthy rich regardless of who
Yes.
wins.
Yes, all of them are getting money. Nintendo is spending money. Someone's getting there.
True. I mean, when you think about it, right? Ultimately, the modern, like a lot of modern lawyers work on a you don't pay unless you win basis, I hear these days. So, I mean, both sides are really hoping to win, but then the longer this drags out, whoever that winner is going to get even more money. So, it's arguably in the lawyers' best incentives to drag this out
Yes.
just so they can increase their own payouts. So, and again, Lord knows Nintendo is not backing down because, as I joked about prior to the stream with Justin, Nintendo is a Japanese company working on the American home defense strategy. You step even a foot on Mario's lawn, and he is greeting you with the barrel of a 12 gauge.
Keep in mind, even if that
So
lawn is adjacent to your own, they're still going to do it, but
they're that one guy who has their entire lawn landmined for home defense reasons.
your lawn is my lawn. My lawn is my lawn.
Your lawn is my lawn. My lawn is my lawn. Every lawn is my lawn.
All lawn
Why?
is lawn.
Because I'm here. Anyways, but that's the video, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you all enjoyed. More of a commentary than an actual news piece. I could go more into the news side of things, but again, there's a lot of illegal techniques I could get into that I'd probably be doing incorrectly. Honestly, I probably have said some incorrectly, and correct me in the comments, please, if you're a legal expert. You're like, no, 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 that ain't right. I am not a legal professional, mind you. I am trained in business management, not in legal stuff, so I can't claim an expert opinion on there. But I do have opinions as far as my own optimistic piece is going. So, or my own opinions of the whole cases. So, take those for what you will. Anyways, article will be linked down in the description, and I hope you guys have a good one. Bye bye, everybody.
Have a good one.